A direction from the top back in March.
At this particular point in time, we certainly don't see the need for ADF boots on the ground in support of this operation.
In the recording from a State Control Centre meeting a day before the hotel quarantine program began, the Emergency Management Commissioner refused ADF help, despite knowing troops were patrolling Sydney hotels.
Your view was that there wasn't a need at that time for that resource to be called for from the ADF in Victoria.
We didn't see a need at that time.
But in June, after outbreaks at the Ridges and Stanford Plaza hotels, Mr Crisp made a request for 850 personnel because the Health Department wanted more resources. A day later, he rescinded that request on advice from the Justice Department, which had taken over the program.
The Secretary explained to me that things would move more quickly in relation to exploring those other resources, and police and protective services officers were specifically mentioned.
Exactly whose decision it was to use private security is still unclear. A text message from Mr Crisp in March reveals the former Police Chief Commissioner Graham Ashton preferred guards. He made it clear that private security is the first security option at hotels, motels, not police. Commissioner Crisp says he didn't think private security would be a problem, but rejected suggestions it was his decision. The state and federal governments have been embroiled in a war of words over exactly what support was on offer and when. Emails tendered to the inquiry by the Commonwealth reveal ADF soldiers were offered to the Premier's Office for Hotel Security a week after the program was set up, contradicting Daniel Andrews' claim that the help wasn't available.
The ADF was offered to Victoria. Andrews chose not to accept it, giving us our second wave, and Andrews is now lying about it and covering it up.
My comments are consistent, my comments are accurate.
The inquiry's heard conflicting evidence about who was in charge of the program, but another recording of a State Control Centre meeting in March appeared to make that clear.
In terms of who's in charge, it is the Department of Health and Human Services for this operation.
Victoria's Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton will face the inquiry tomorrow. Bridget Rollason, ABC News, Melbourne.